Leadership Leaning, good to see you, thanks for tuning in.
Welcome everybody, nice to be with you all.
Yeah, we're here just enjoying a nice cup of tea on a...
I'm hoping in future weeks we'll have snacks, but this week we've kept it simple.
I do want these to be about snacks, we're going to do these.
I mean, I was hoping that's what I was promised, to be honest, when Alex suggested we do start doing these, but we'll see for future weeks.
Yeah.
But so we're hoping to, over these weeks doing these, maybe there'll be some different people at different moments, but just to share things that are coming up, trying to keep you in the loop, because it's hard just, obviously on a Sunday morning. I hope you enjoyed it yesterday and tuned in, but they're not the moments to kind of share all the other news about what's going on. And so these are just times for us to kind of go into a bit more detail and things that we want to talk about.
Yeah.
So we've got a few of those things for tonight. We'll see where we go.
Great. So why don't we just start a little catch up. So what's going on? Because obviously all this stuff has just happened.
Yeah.
In over a few weeks, you guys will know just every whole of life has changed just in a moment. And even seeing like people like the Prime Minister getting the virus, self-isolating. So our whole lives have changed. So how are you feeling like it's affecting you? Like, what's it like? I mean, I went to the Goring Tesco's yesterday, which is pretty close to your house.
Yeah.
And I had to stand outside for 20 minutes behind a queue of one person because there's only 5 people allowed in a shop. So I thought someone's really browsing these apples.
Yeah.
Freezing.
That's the problem. People need to know what they're going for. As soon as you walk in there, you've got to be direct.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Yeah, that's a nightmare.
Yeah.
So I hope you haven't had any of those moments. I've seen Boots. Boots is the worst one I've seen.
Oh, yeah,
She's down the road. So what's going on with your house then? How's Lucy coping with 3 kids?
It's interesting. So I think just not leaving the house, barely leaving the house at all. Judah's he's not even 9 months, he's maybe 8 months. And the other kids are 4 and 2. And I think they're doing well, and I've been working from home, and we've not got a massive house, so I'm tucked away in our bedroom on an armchair, and I occasionally can hear serious fighting. And those of you that have got like a nice home office that's well out of reach of anything, or a nice big house or something, but it's all happening outside my bedroom door. So I'm like, do I go and help Lucy with the kids? But I really should be working, I can't keep going out there. And the kids are fighting a lot more because they've not got friends to hang out with and all of that. So Lucy's doing well, and I think the kids are generally doing well. But I think if we had, a month, 2 plus, I think we'll start to get very testing.
Yeah, I have the same thing whenever I hear Evelyn and Caleb arguing outside the door. I wonder. I have this way out. Should I get involved? Should I shout to Rachel, is she dealing with this, or do I just need to keep quiet to not draw attention to myself in case Evelyn and Caleb start banging at my door?
Yeah.
But thankfully, it's a shame no one else can enjoy it. But having a big trampoline in the garden has been incredible, especially with the weather.
Big time.
And so every day we've been on the trampoline, every day we've been in the garden, lunch in the garden, whenever we can we're in the garden, on the swing, on the trampoline. Happy days.
Yeah, that makes a big difference having outside space. We've got a reasonably nice garden and a trampoline. So
we need the sun to continue. For Rachel's sanity.
Yes.
And for my sanity, we need the sun to continue.
For sure. Yeah.
And if you're passing my house, by the way, and you want to say hi, I had a lovely chat with Steve and Helen from a social distance a couple of days ago. And so if you're passing, you're walking by on your one permitted outing in the day, do come and say hi. We'll probably be in the garden, we'll have a chat to you, we'll wave, we'll bounce and shout. It'd be nice to see you.
The problem is, I'm just not getting any exercise.
That's true.
So I usually cycle every day to work, and because we're working from home, I've literally not left the house on my bike. So I just feel like I'm going to put on weight. And when you're working at home, I don't know if you're like me. When you're just at home, I'm much more likely to snack than I am.
You got to get on the trampoline with Florence and Isaac.
That's what I need.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
Actually, I was going to do a shout out to someone.
Big time.
Shout out to Amanda. Amanda, thank you so much for your lovely email telling me I look thinner on video than I do in real life. I was told the camera.
Amanda, where's my email?
I've been doing exercise, Amanda. Alex hasn't. So thank you. I do appreciate that. Thank you so much. Should we start talking about something?
Yeah, let's talk about something.
Great. Hopefully you found it. We do want you to be hopefully you're interested in what our families are doing. But let's give them some info about what's happening.
Yeah.
So should we talk about groups?
Yeah, well, should we start by talking about Redeemer starting?
Let's start talking about launch, yes.
And then we'll talk about
We should
groups.
talk about that.
Okay, let's go do that way around. I think it
Yeah,
just makes more sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
So hopefully you tuned in yesterday and you heard the big news that we've decided to bring the start of Redeemer right forward, and we're going to start it on the 12th of April, Easter Sunday.
Come on.
Which we just think is a real God-given moment and opportunity. And you know, this is not a situation we would have chosen. I don't usually work from home. I don't usually not leave the house for the entire day. But obviously that's just minor. You know, some people are really suffering. You know, lots of people have died. Over 1,000 people now, or 1,200 or whatever it was yesterday in the UK, and I think 29,000 or something around the world. So this is a serious situation that no one would have chosen. And yet we really believe that God is at work.
Yeah.
That God uses these moments for our good, for the good of this world in ways that we just don't understand, but also to kind of move us, to shake us up. It's what happened in the early church with persecution. I think that's what God's doing now with the church. So this is an exciting time. So we've decided to bring the launch of Redeemer right forward. We're just going to go for it full throttle. And we think this is an opportunity for us to really just innovate, to take hold of opportunities, make the most of the situation that's presented itself to us. There's a load of practical reasons as well, one of which being that we're going to just throw so much energy and time in the coming months to building up our online presence. Mm-hmm. And it just makes no sense to do that as Jubilee and then to start Redeemer a few months later. So there's practical reasons as well. But we are excited, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're excited.
We're excited.
Yeah.
We're excited. We're less than two. So what's that? 2 Sundays away.
2 Sundays away.
2 Sundays away, and then we love Jubilee. We're going to celebrate Jubilee when we're back together, whenever that is in a few months' time. Hopefully, we're going to do a big celebration, celebrate all that Jubilee has been over the last 30 years.
Yeah, 30 years.
It's incredible. Wow. But for now, we're going to be excited about Redeemer and launching and all that's going to be, right? Because that, like Alex said yesterday, if you picked up on our Sunday online, the church isn't a building, so we don't have to wait till we get into Gilbourne. We don't have to wait until we've got some space where we can meet together, but the church is the people.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so we're going to be a church plant as the people together 2 Sundays.
Yeah, so it's great. And we're also just really conscious, right, that change is a big deal for people at the best of times. Mm-hmm. And sometimes people say, oh, some people just don't like change, but I think the reality is that none of us really like change. Mm-hmm. We're happy with change until you change the thing that I really like.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so we're just aware that this could be a difficult moment on top of the kind of situation we find ourselves in and the uncertainty. Yeah. And so we really want to help people make this transition well. So if you've said, I want to plant Redeemer, and you're currently part of Jubilee, we just really want to help you. We recognise that this is potentially an unsettling moment, but we hope that we can help you move forward with faith. We hope we can give you some stability and certainty. That's one of the reasons, right, that when we chatted as elders this last week, that we decided that for the time being, we're going to continue going. Just tell us a little bit about that and why we're doing that.
Yeah, so for now, the plan was that when Jubilee finished, us as the eldership team and the other 4 guys would step down for the church plant, and the leadership team would come through. But just because of the kind of just a funny situation we find ourselves in, or not funny at all, but the situation we find ourselves in, the Jubilee elders will continue to support and just give that stability, I guess, while we're in these kind of ups, everything's up in the air. But whilst that is happening, we're also going to be bringing through this leadership team Alex has been gathering over the last few months. And so you'll get to, hopefully we'll introduce them, maybe some of these, or we're going to do some other things on social media, where we'll get to chat to some of those couples. But the elders of Jubilee will still be going, whilst the Redeemer leadership team will be playing its part and helping shape what we're doing as we launch Redeemer.
Yeah.
So you've got a double whammy.
Great. Yeah. And for me, it's just been a privilege to be part of that team. Absolutely. Like the eldership team. Yeah. So I've been an elder at Jubilee for coming up on 4.5 years. Yeah. Just over 4.5 years. So it's been a real privilege. Yeah. And part of me's, really I think, going to have to get used to and potentially even grieve, like leaving what we've had together. But I think often in, you know, like Rachel Ireland, if you're watching this, love you, Rach, just brought this really helpful picture, prophetic word at one of our prayer meetings about the need for, when Jesus says, unless a grain of wheat falls into the ground and dies, it remains alone. But if it does die and fall to the ground, it will bear much fruit. And I think for me, one of the things that will have to die is that I've just loved being part of an eldership team with the guys, with Stuart and Colin and Pete and Rod, Martin when he was in it before he left with Joel. I've loved that. So that's kind of one of my things, you know, that I've got to drop to the ground. But I know we're going to see some wonderful things come because of it.
Yes, it's been just such a privilege to be part. Even so, I'm unless this whole thing goes on longer than we expect, I might make it to 2 years as an elder. Otherwise, I'm going to be cut short just before the big 2 years.
Yeah, it's like we've just knocked the legs from under.
You know, I was promised, you know, eldership is going to be
at least 10 years.
At least 10 years when I signed up.
At least 10.
And then we decided to plant a church. Eldership stepping down. I'm out straight away. But it's just been fun. Yeah, I've loved it, and just I'm glad I got to experience it before we plant Redeemer. It's been fantastic, but it's exciting gathering this new team over the last however many months it's been, a couple of months, few months. They're going to do a fantastic job, and we're really excited to build with them. And
really excited. And we're going to find our feet together, and our intention as we go down the line would be to establish a new eldership team of Redeemer in the future. But for the moment, we're going to focus on building this leadership team. And one of the things we've started discussing in the last the last couple of times ago that we were together was what it really looks like to be part of Redeemer. So we asked everyone to sign up and sign these cards, which was just a great moment, you know, of kind of faith together.
I loved it.
Tick, I'm planting Redeemer. But actually we really want to just spell out and be clear together on what that actually means. What does it mean to say I'm planting Redeemer? So I don't know. How did you find that discussion with the start of that discussion with the team, and where do you think we're going with that? I have no idea how we're going to communicate that kind of stuff. You know. I
mean, so the problem is if Alex talks about something, about what he thinks it looks like, and then you talk to me about what I think it looks like, and then you talk to like one or two other people, you find you've got like as many people you've asked, you've got that many opinions about what they think,
and maybe more opinions.
It should look like you might have
my opinion changes all the time.
Exactly. Alex, you'll find that if you stay in a room with Alex long enough, your opinion will evolve over time. And so it's just interesting having that discussion, even within a group of really committed, fantastic, incredible leaders. We're just we're shaping it, right? And I guess if we talk about planning groups in a minute, we really want planning groups to have an input into shaping what it's going to look like for us to be Redeemer together. And so I'm excited about it, and I think it's just going to be so helpful for us to kind of clearly state this is what it's going to look like for us to be a member of Redeemer. This, or even if it's just, are we going to talk about Pioneer membership? Pioneer membership. So, did you already say that?
No, let's talk about it now. The guys all want to.
So we've just started talking. We've using the language of Pioneer member. What it's going to look like to kind of get Redeemer off the ground for that first year to be a Pioneer member. I think we might even start doing some preaching into what it's going to look like to Pioneer.
And maybe we'll talk about it. Some of these. And then the group. We're hoping that the Redeemer groups will flesh that out, talk about it, own it together.
Because we want to make it really clear, don't we, that what exactly is expected of you. So I know we signed up, it was a fantastic morning signing up on the boards. I loved it, having the children and the youth and everyone involved. Such a good morning. But actually, what does that look like for you to have signed up to Plant Redeemer? What are the expectations of you? It's really helpful to know rather than just some ambiguous statement that you can decide for yourself, because we love that. Right? We're in a consumerist, individualistic, relativist society that it can mean something. Whatever it means for you is fine, and what it means for me is fine. But actually, we want something nailed down, right?
And I think that's just so important. I think that's the kind of church we want to build anyway. That we own something together. That we're not. It's not about consumerism. It's not about me. It's about what I'm adding, what I'm bringing, what I'm contributing. But I think especially in the first year or two, because it's like we're establishing a beachhead. And I just loved watching, I don't know if any of you have seen World War II in colour on Netflix, recent kind of documentary kind of thing, 10 episodes or something about World War II, and just watching the one on D-Day, and just the amount of blood, sweat, money, men that went into that, and like planning that went into that initial thing to take what is relatively a small amount of ground. We just threw everything at it, but it's in that you establish a beachhead that you can then take much ground. Mm-hmm. And we want a church plant that's going to take ground. That's why we're doing this. Is we want to take ground for Jesus. We want Jesus to be made much of and to be known, and people to love Jesus. And so I think it's just going to take an extra amount of like effort, commitment, sacrifice on our part as kind of pioneer members, if you like, just to get the whole thing off the ground and get it going. So that's why I'm excited about that.
Yeah. And I think I was just even chatting yesterday to one of our incredible planting group leaders.
Yeah, what a great team.
And we were just talking about, we want that, it's the idea about the planting groups is that we're not just, like I said, we're not, that's you by the way, just, I don't know why I said your name, anyway. Like he just said over here.
Don't worry now.
I mean, we're doing so well. And by the way, I don't know what time we're on at the moment, but we're just going to keep going.
Yeah.
Keep watching. We've got some good stuff for you. I was talking to these planning group leaders yesterday, and we do want everyone to, we don't want spectators at Redeemer, like from the planning team as we want loads of people coming in and checking us out, whether that's online or when we move into the building, we want loads of that.
Yeah.
But for the planning team, we're not called to be spectators, we want to be participators, we want to be contributing.
I like that.
And so everyone has got their role to play. And so that's the Pioneer membership, I think, will just help us with that. So when Alex signs up, he knows that he's signing up to setup team every Sunday morning.
That's it. Come on.
He's going to sign up to preaching 35 minutes tops, 45 minutes tops. We can cut it down.
We got a whole new set of expectations at Redeemer. So.
And so it's going to be great. But should we talk about Redeemer planning groups maybe a bit?
Yeah. So we're excited about those. So we met the leaders on Zoom.
Yeah.
We've been loving Zoom meetings, by the way.
We're all over it.
We're all over Zoom. And it was a great evening. And what struck me, I guess, the most was just how enthusiastic people were about what we're doing, both with bringing Redeemer forward, the planting groups themselves, but also what we've got planned for going on in how we can serve our town in this moment, which maybe we'll come on to later. But just, I kind of struck me what a great group, of leaders that we've got, kind of fresh leaders to take the first stage of Redeemer forward.
Yeah, fantastic. And so if you haven't signed up, do sign up. I've signed up now. As of the other day, I was kind of holding back in case I was needed in any particular group. Have you got any thoughts yet?
Well, I'm kind of still waiting for you to tell me what group you'll be in. We know, we kind of got a few groups that we want to sign up to. But
Alex is waiting for a group to woo him, so if you've still got space, you want to send them some gifts.
I mean, I've been reading through Proverbs, maybe you've been watching a bit of my devotional, which has got a big beef with bribes. Personally, I'm open to them. I'm a bit more relaxed than Solomon.
I committed too early.
Easy, so if you want to send anything my way, I can be persuaded.
They're a great couple to have in your group, so you want to get them signed up. If you haven't got, maybe if your group's full, you kick out another couple and you bring Alex and Lucy in. A big money transfer. So we're really excited. If you haven't signed up, please do sign up. There's still space in the groups, and we really want everyone to be part of that. And even if you're, like we've said on Sunday mornings, maybe you're not part of Redeemer and you found us and you want to connect, do get in touch with us. Go to redeemer.co.uk, fill in the get in touch thing at the bottom of the homepage. We would love to engage you. We'd love to let you know what we're doing. It is exciting times. Exciting times. 2 Sundays. 2 Sundays. And so actually in 2 Fridays time, what we're doing, we're going to do, well, we haven't fleshed this out at all, but we're going to do Good Friday, we think.
Good Friday, we thought Good Friday, some kind of evening service, but partly because we've never done a Good Friday service, and I would have loved to do a Good Friday service, but the effort involved, in previous years of, going to the school or something, full setup, and who's actually going to be able to, be there and all of that. But this is just perfect, and I think not only is it perfect because we're followers of Jesus and to centre ourselves around the cross, which is just an absolute, vital importance that we do that as a new church, actually, because we're kind of going into laying foundations mode.
Yeah.
So actually we've got to have the cross of Jesus has got to be right slap bang in the middle of the foundations. But not only that, but it's going to be our last Jubilee service together, Good Friday. And I think it's just so fitting, you know, just to give thanks for the death of Jesus.
Yeah, definitely.
But give thanks for everything that God's done in Jubilee.
Yeah.
I think although we want to do a big kind of celebration later on, I think what a way to kind of close out our time on Good Friday. I think that's just so fitting.
Yeah. And we have about 150 Easter eggs that should have been eaten on Good Friday.
Oh my goodness.
So, I mean, Rodney has again,
He's
maybe
probably
I shouldn't have said this, but he's tucked into the last couple of weeks before we moved out of the office and went to work at home.
8 or 9.
Every meeting we had, there was an egg being opened.
And they kept getting less and less and less in the office.
Yeah.
And I just wondered
I'm concerned. I'm a bit concerned. Because I'm not sure how much exercise he's doing either. And he was cycling before.
Well,
you're not doing much exercise. You might not be doing much exercise.
I know, me and Rod
so you've got to control him. So anyway, but even with the 20 that Rod's eaten, we've still got a bucket load of Easter eggs.
What are we going to do with these Easter eggs?
Well, we need to work out what the rules are because our initial plan was home delivery.
Deliver them to
your
door.
We were literally going to just wind down our window and throw them to your door. But now the police might stop us, so we've got to try and work out plan number 2. If you can take your daily exercise outside mine or Alex's house, we'll throw you an Easter egg as you walk by.
Yeah, toss you an egg.
Yeah, we'll wipe it down first. And then you're absolutely fine. But otherwise, Evelyn and Caleb.
We need to find what we're going to do with
it. At the moment, we've got about 40 or 50 Easter eggs. There are some more downstairs.
Maybe
in the offices.
If we don't deliver them to these guys, we could tuck them in with everything that we're sending out by the food bank deliveries. Nice, which may be a good moment to tell these guys about that. About what we're doing with that. Yeah. So we kind of feel like we've got a 2-pronged approach and attack to how we're going to serve our community, because this is an opportunity for us to show the hope and love of Jesus, and that's what Jeremiah 29 says, that we should pray and work for the peace and the welfare and the good of the place that God's put us. And that's exactly the whole reason we want to start a new church. And so what we're going to do, 2-pronged attack. Prong number 1 is kind of neighbour to neighbour through your planting groups, and so we're going to be talking to the leaders, we're going to be talking to you guys about what it looks like for you to individually serve, get to know, support, care for, pray for, witness to your neighbours during this time. I think that's absolutely vital. Some of you have already done that. Well done. Posting things through your neighbours' doors. We did that the other day. It's just saying, I'm here, call me, I can do stuff for you. So that's one prong number 1. Prong number 2 is the kind of central thing that we're all going to do together to serve our town, which is through the vehicle of Food Bank. So we've quickly re-engineered Food Bank to be an emergency food delivery service. So if people are in need of food, like they'd kind of be a usual client of Food Bank, that they're struggling, having hard times, I don't know, benefits haven't come through, lost a job, whatever kind of crisis, they're going to apply for the food through a kind of phone system, or they can do that through our website, redeemer.co.uk/foodbank, and we're going to deliver food to their door with drivers, a team of drivers, but also just for people that can't get out, people that are housebound because they're unwell or whatever, haven't got perhaps friends and family, we can deliver to them as well. So maybe we can just throw eggs in with...
If there's space in the bags.
If there's space in the bags.
If there's not, Evelyn and Caleb are happy to keep them.
I mean, everyone appreciates an Easter egg.
Everyone appreciates an Easter egg. And now good Easter eggs. And so you will enjoy. They're not any old rubbish, Cadbury's. Cadbury's finest. So that's exciting, right? So, I mean, it's actually incredible already, all of the people who've started donating to Food Bank, like people in the church, people outside of the church, who started donating online via the website. So website again, Food Bank.
Would love you to donate. Would love you to volunteer. Anything you can do, food. Donate money. But volunteer, drivers, distribution centre. Even if you've got an hour to spare or anything, we'd love you to help.
That'd be absolutely fantastic. And so really excited to see how we can serve the town. And I'm quite excited about actually getting out and doing something practical. If they'll have me at the Food Bank.
I hope we're going to be doing a couple of deliveries, right? We're going to be drivers.
Big time.
So I'm excited about that. Blare some music out.
Going
to be great.
Can't wait.
So as we kind of wrap up with saying what's coming up
I think
in the coming couple of weeks, what's to look forward to, what's to watch out for. And we've said a couple of things, but later on this week, we're going to be starting our first Digging Deeper, which is just going to be weekly sessions, kind of just looking at the Bible in a bit more depth. You know, Sunday mornings are fantastic, but we're very aware that we really want to be aware, even increasingly aware, especially as we plant Redeemer, of people that are watching who don't yet know Jesus, and we want to be, we want to keep them reasonably punchy, really want to, high quality, really want to engage with Jesus together. We'll definitely be looking at the Bible every week, engaging with His words, a key value of ours, foundation, another foundation. But sometimes you just don't get the time that you want if we really want to go deeper into something. So we're going to start these things digging deeper, and we're going to kick off with Leviticus, which if you've been part of Jubilee, you'll know we kind of started and only got a third of the way through or something. And so we're going to be, I'm actually going to start that again. So we'll probably do it the beginning a bit quicker, but just so we kind of recap, we're on the same page,
great.
And we're doing that every week for about 10 weeks through the whole of Leviticus. And to be honest, I'm so excited about that because I think Leviticus, surprising as it is, I think has got loads to say to us in this situation, but also in terms of the coronavirus and everything that's going on, but also in terms of starting a new church, what kind of church we want to be, what kind of values that we want to have. And if you've got time, I mean, if you're a student, if you're working at home and you can be a bit flexible, if you're not working but your house, you're kind of self-isolating or whatever, I just love us to this be a season. Use your time wisely in this season. Dig into the scriptures, learn to wrestle in prayer, and I think just doing that weekly together will just be great. So that will be we'll send something out tomorrow, right, with that program of what's coming on.
I mean, I don't know where people are at, but I know when we started Leviticus, there are a lot of what's the word? People raised eyebrows.
Oh man, the eyebrows that I saw.
But the amount of love
above people's head, these eyebrows.
The amount of love towards Leviticus come week 3 or 4. People are loving it. So I think having you back on some Leviticus. I know my JC that we're meeting before we stopped and have launched these planning groups couldn't get enough of Leviticus.
There you go.
So I'm ready. I'm ready for Thursday. I hope Abby and Adi, I hope you're ready for Thursday. Alex and Leviticus, you're at home. Get on it.
So Thursday mornings. Not sure about the time. We'll communicate that, but you'll be able to catch up if you can't watch it on Thursday mornings. So what else have we got? So check out, if you're not on Instagram, get on Instagram. Alex is doing daily devotionals in Proverbs. We have got. Are we starting that? Are we going to start there? Well, that's actually a good. So I've started this daily devotional thing in Proverbs, which I'm just loving, by the way.
He is loving.
I'm loving. Maybe loving it a little too much.
It was nice to see Judah there the other day.
That's it.
It mixed it up for me.
That's it. Judah's in, Judah, my son, he's in there. So a lot of it's about fathers to sons. He's a little bit young to kind of give wise counsel to, but that's okay. We can start somewhere. But I've really enjoyed that. But actually, what we're going to do when we start Redeemer on Easter Sunday is we're going to start a brand new series on Easter Sunday called The Pioneers. I'm so excited. It's going to be in the early parts of Luke.
Come on.
So Luke, like the end of Luke 2, really, and we'll see where we go, Luke 4, Luke 5. And about the pioneers, Jesus, John the Baptist, but really about us, about the life that Jesus calls us into, and especially as we're going into thinking about what it means to be a pioneer membership, pioneering this new church. It's going to be so just key for us in this time. But off the back of that, we're potentially going to start a reading plan.
Absolutely. Well, let's commit to it.
We're going to start
a reading plan. We'll deal with the consequences of that. We're going to start a reading plan. Hopefully, over the next couple of weeks, we're going to start to introduce you to different people in the church. Just because it's nice, right? So it's part of your Redeemer planning group. You'll see some faces on Zoom. Get downloading Zoom if you haven't already.
Zoom.
It's going to be the place or whatever your group decides to use. But it's just going to be nice. It's nice to see other faces, and as lovely as these faces are, it's going to be nice to see some other faces. So hopefully,
you're never getting sick of this.
We'll get some other people up. Maybe via Instagram Live. So get Instagram if you haven't got Instagram. Just so you can check in with how other people are doing, see what's going on, get some updates. It's kind of just it's another way that we can communicate and be family together. And say we're looking forward to those.
And I assume we might draw other people into the reading. So part of the reading plan. So we're going to try to do like a 5-day-a-week reading plan through the Book of Acts. is the plan, alongside our series, both the pioneers looking at what the early followers of Jesus did. And really we're just thinking we love us to engage in the Bible more in this time. But I guess if you're living with a family, you got young kids, grown up kids, actually for this to be a time where you I guess either step up or learn completely from scratch how to engage with Jesus together as a family and what it means to be a follower of Jesus. So we're going to do basically half a chapter of Acts a day, 5 days a week. We're going to do short, punchy, 5-ish minute videos every day, which are just kind of unfold the passage a little bit, maybe give you some questions, some thoughts, some ways that you can serve your neighbours, think about all sorts of things off the back of the passage. But really what we'd love is for you to do that together as a family. We've both got really young kids. I mean, I couldn't just read a chapter out of the Bible with my kids.
James.
I think they would, they'd probably get lost off the word 3. But the way I do it is I just tell the story. So I just summarise in my own words. I dramatise. This evening we did the story of Jonah. Man, I've got them in the boat, I've got them in the sea, I've got them in the fish, I've got them, we're acting it out. And I think we've just got to be creative in how do we engage our families, whether we've got 4-year-old kids or 14-year-old kids as a family, is what it means. So hopefully we're going to try and help you, give you some steer on how to do that.
Yeah, and I just found that really helpful as well. I should have brought it with me, but I've just read this book recently, really great for the time we're in. I've recommended it to you. It's Ruthless Elimination of Hurry by John Mark Comer. If you haven't got it, I'd really recommend it. I'm going to lend Alex my copy. But it just talks about setting rhythms, and so this kind of it was kind of ideal timing to read it before this has all happened. And just talking with a few other people about setting, this is an opportunity to set new rhythms. I'm working at home, so my start of my day looks slightly different. And so we've started just reading nothing major, just working our way book by book through Evelyn and Caleb's Jesus Storybook Bible at breakfast table in the morning. And we've loved it. It's just been nice. So I'm still dealing with not spilling milk and cereal going all over the place, but we're doing it whilst trying to protect the Bible as we read it in the middle of our place. And it's just a really nice way to start our day as a family, reading those stories and having discussion, while eating our malt wheats.
Yeah, and I think if you've got young kids, that is a great. We use that, the Jesus Storybook Bible, and every single story at the end it kind of shows you in some way how the story is pointing forward to Jesus, or how it's kind of reflecting Jesus in some way.
I love it.
And it's just got, the kid, I feel like our kids engage with some actually quite profound theology, but in incredibly simple ways, and it's really great.
Yeah, so always talking about the overarching story of the Bible, trying to teach them something, the narrative, and bigger words like that. They're not meta-narrative. They're not clocking out. They're not clocking out typology.
The narrative arc.
So if you have got young kids, I would really recommend. This is a great time to set some new rhythms, some new patterns in your life. And that is a great book. John Mark Comer, Ruthless Elimination of Hurry.
Yeah. Great. What a great way to end.
Now this is our week 1, so
I hope you've enjoyed it.
Apart from having no food, hopefully you made it through. We'll see. We'll see how they go, right?
Yeah, and we'll be back. The plan is we'll be back every week. Us, maybe some different people. Maybe we'll use these to introduce some of the new leadership team as we go forward in the weeks and months.
Yeah.
But we just wanted to use these kind of times to engage with you, have a kind of chilled chat, but you also just communicate what's going on with us, what's going on with Redeemer as we build up, just so you feel really engaged and involved. We're not going to be seeing you personally, but we really want to see you and engage with you. And just hope you're doing well. I hope you're, especially if you're someone who's a key worker or something.
Absolutely.
You're, going into the hospital, still going into schools, all of those kind of things. We're just really thinking of you, praying for you. And if you're affected by this in some other way, maybe you have come down with some kind of illness, whether it's the coronavirus or not, and you're kind of really locked down. We just engage with your Redeemer planting groups, but we are thinking of you. We love you. Get in touch with us. We'd love to pray for you, how we go forward, and just stay safe, stay sweet, plug into Jesus during this time. We hope we can help you with that, with the stuff we're going to launch in the coming days and weeks.
Yeah, great. Thanks so much for being with us.
See you guys.
Bye.
Have a good rest of your evening. Bye.